We are done.
Happy birthday, Affordable Care Act. A decade ago, President Barack Obama signed you into law, and together we went on to improve the lives of millions. You allowed states to expand Medicaid, making it possible for more than 17 million Americans to get covered. More than 133 million Americans with pre-existing conditions became protected because of you. You literally saved lives. But the GOP didn't care. At every step along the way, Republicans in Congress tried to get rid of you, more than 70 times, but they failed. And we've made it this far, so happy birthday to you.
Can I eat this, Allison?
No. Did you know, though, that the healthcare fight isn't over, even after all those failures? See, when Republicans in Congress failed to repeal the ACA, they turned to the courts. Republican attorneys general, led by Texas AG Ken Paxton, filed a lawsuit to take away coverage for millions of Americans by claiming that the ACA is unconstitutional. It's a lawsuit that's also backed by President Donald Trump. It's important for you to understand what's happening with this lawsuit because it could mean the difference between life and death for many Americans that will lose their health care if Republicans are successful. In response to Republican AG efforts, Democratic attorneys general, led by California AG Javier Becerra, formed a coalition to defend the Affordable Care Act in court. You might be wondering why the Dem AGs got involved. So normally, when a federal law is challenged, the federal government defends itself. The federal government, or the United States, is the defendant. In this case, since Trump, who unfortunately represents the United States, refused, Democratic AGs stepped in to defend the ACA. If they hadn't, who would have defended healthcare? So listen for help, because that's... What happens next in the courts is complicated. So to help illustrate, let's pretend this basketball is the ACA. It starts in December of 2018, when an activist conservative federal district judge rules that the Affordable Care Act's individual mandate is unconstitutional. This is a big deal, because it puts the ACA on the chopping block. As the defendants, Democratic AGs quickly appeal the ruling. Then, in December of 2019, the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals agrees the individual mandate is unconstitutional, but it doesn't decide on the rest of the law and sends it back to the district court. Democratic AGs keep fighting and ask the U.S. Supreme Court to step in right away. But Donald Trump and Republican AGs asked the court to wait until after the 2020 election to take up the case. The Supreme Court responds and agrees to hear the case next term. This could be as early as October, but there's no guarantee it'll happen before Election Day. So that's where we are today, waiting. And speaking of elections, there are 12 AG seats up in 2020. The fate of your healthcare depends on this lawsuit and the state AGs battling it out in court. You elect state AGs. So if there's one thing you take away from this video, it's that you have an opportunity this November to save healthcare. The only way to guarantee we protect our care is to elect Democrats up and down the ballot, like the Dem AGs who are constantly fighting to protect your care. So please, go vote.
Goodness gracious, come on.